All right, my friends, welcome back. It is July 16th, 2025, and it's 74 degrees out here this morning. I say all this for my own personal benefit, when I go back and watch these videos. So it's kind of like almost like a personal diary, but it's a nice morning out here. As you can see, the sun is shining brightly. Over the past number of days, it's been very cloudy, lots of rain. It's just the time of the year. Even though it's a sunshine state, we do get a lot of cloudy days for sure. More sunny days than cloudy, but nevertheless, it's just we've just gotten so much rain. I can't even get to my lawn to mow it, and generally always I have my lawn mowed before my neighbors do, always, like days before. And I come home yesterday, and their lawn was mowed, and I feel somewhat competitive now. I don't know why. But whenever I get done mowing my lawn, I look at it and go, wow, this looks really nice. Right? Looks really nice. And then I look at everybody else's lawn and go, my lawn looks better than theirs. But when somebody else gets theirs done before mine, I'm like, oh man, they beat me to it. And it just kind of sucks, It shouldn't mean anything, but that's kind of how I am. I don't know why, but that's kind of how I am. I have a feeling a lot of people are that way. But yeah, I like my yard looking nice. I usually do it every Sunday morning around 10 in the morning. But I put it off Sunday morning to do other things, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I could have done it right then. Because ever since then it's rained, and of course this time of the year it grows so fast that I can't keep up with it. Yeah. So I've the first chance I get, and it won't be tonight because I've got to donate plasma tonight, and it'll probably be rain by then anyway. But I gotta mow the yard, get it taken care of. Anyway, what's the weather like where you're at? So lately, our dog, which is really our oldest daughter's dog, I think she's like 25 or 26, but not the dog, my daughter. Anyway, she's a great dog, but we've been kind of taking care of her so much to the point that she's basically our dog. And she's a great dog. I love her. I wouldn't have a pit bull. I mean, I wouldn't pick out a pit bull myself, okay? I just wouldn't. But they are very affectionate dogs, just not great with other animals and not with other people. I don't like that aspect of it. But anyway, she's a really, really good dog. I love her to death. But lately she's developed this thing where she's barking during the middle of the night or early hours of the morning. She didn't used to do this. Now she's doing it like 2, 3, 4 times. And it's always very alarming. I always, pop up out of bed and look out the windows to see if there's anybody roaming around, check my security cameras. Nothing. But it kind of chills you at first, because you're always on high alert, especially as a man. You're supposed to protect your family. And the first thing I'm going to do, if there's someone out there, is run out there and, overwhelm them. That's my intention. Is I'm going to go out there and overwhelm whoever it is. And so you're kind of jacked up about this. Well, when I discovered no one was out there, I went back to bed, fell asleep, and I had these weird dreams, really weird dreams. Now, I don't normally comment on dreams because I don't remember most of them. I really don't. They say we dream every night, but we don't remember most of them, and that may be true because I don't feel like I dream that often. But the dreams I had that night, 3 different ones, really odd. One, I was sitting I thought I had my glasses on my head. One, I was sitting in a bathtub, which I never take baths. I haven't had a bath in years. I always take showers. But I was sitting in the bathtub, and I was deliberately putting water in my ears somehow, dumping water into my ears, bath water, in an attempt to clean them out. And I was like moving my head back and forth. There's a lot of detail to this, by the way. Moving my head back and forth, and out dumps this, like, about this size, of a big form of crusty earwax. I know that sounds gross, right? This is going somewhere. So out dumps this big thing of crusty earwax. It's floating in the water, and I called my wife and I said, "You got to look at this." And so So I took it out of the water, set it on the edge of the bathtub, and was letting it dry out, and it started to take on this kind of dark brown, black, furry kind of appearance. I was like, what is this? Maybe it's not earwax. As we let it dry out further, it softened up, and we realized it was just a dead kitten. Why would I have a dead kitten in my ear? I don't know. Dreams mean nothing to me. They really mean nothing. However, there are some people that put a lot of stock in them. And then you have to question, maybe my dream does mean something. Maybe it's an allegory. Maybe it's a parable of some kind. But then the second dream I had, what was that? We were watching a clip on TV, maybe like TMZ or something, and there was these celebrities singing, and one of them was Brad Pitt. The camera was really focused on him and his voice, and he sung horribly. And you can tell by the way he's acting that he thinks he sounds really good, or at least he hopes to, but he just sounded so bad. And I remember thinking, Brad Pitt can't sing. Dreams are so funny to me because you wonder where they come from. It's not like I think about Brad Pitt. I mean, I like him as an actor. He is one of my favorite actors, actually, but it's not like I don't even watch movies that much. I certainly didn't see the latest movie he came out with. The earwax thing? Oh, I know. Now I remember what the other dream was. I'll tell you here in a second. The other earwax thing, yeah, I actually do think about that a lot because I have a new device I ordered that I need to make a video about to clean out my ears. I made another one similar to that, or of that kind. It's one of my highest viewed videos. So, yeah. Anyway, now I know what my other dream was. My other dream was that somehow or another I offed somebody else by, I don't know why. I can't say that on YouTube. They might flag me. They might demonetize me. But I took out somebody with a sharp object, and then I stole their SUV, which I would never do. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, the dream was stressful, and I woke up from that dream having anxiety. So anyway, for all that that's worth, I have no idea. Did you hear about the Epstein list? That someone supposedly leaked it? Listen, I don't think anything's ever going to become of that. Do you? I don't think anything will ever become of that. Like nothing will ever become of the JFK files. Nothing will ever become of the 9/11 tragedy. Nothing will ever become of any of that. There are so many unanswered questions that will remain unanswered. Nothing will ever become of it. And then you look at the names on the list and you don't even know if what you're seeing is real or not because of the age we live in. I think we've purposely been driven to have a lack of trust in everything now. Everything we hear and see. And I really honestly, guys, I think that's why videos like this resonate with people, because I think people are looking. We are living in a time now where people are desperately looking for someone authentic, someone that just seems real. George Bruno and I talked about this on a video one time, and I just think that people are looking for something real because it's getting harder and harder to identify the truth anymore. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole Epstein thing. It's kind of almost pointless to talk about, but I'm mentioning it because it happened to make the news over the last couple. Well, it's always making the news. Always, they're always talking about it. But I thought I'd just say something about it here, since someone actually or supposedly leaked a list. I don't know. It's hard to say. I did want to tell you about someone I met at Publix. I was going through the checkout line the other night instead of the self-checkout line, and there was a woman, probably about 30 years old, that was the one checking my stuff out. And I always look at people's name badges because I converse with everybody. I really do. I converse with everybody, much to the annoyance of my wife. If I see a name I don't recognize, I'll ask somebody how it's pronounced. And if it looks ethnic, I'll ask them where that comes from. Like, where does it originate? Is it Greek? Is it Spanish? Is it Chinese? Whatever. Because I'm very curious about people and about things. And this woman had a name that I could not figure out. First of all, I couldn't figure out how to pronounce it. And I wish I would have written it down. I thought I could remember it, but I can't. It was so unusual. I've never seen a name like it. And I could not even begin to determine where it was from. But from the looks of her, she could have been from almost anywhere. She could have been Hispanic, but she wasn't deeply identifiable with people of Spanish heritage. She could have been maybe a descendant of Chinese people from generations back. She could have been from who knows where. I mean, she really had this appearance of, I don't know, like she could have been from anywhere. And she spoke very good English, and I asked her how she pronounces her name. I had it almost right. And so I asked her, I said, where does that come from? And she told me Kazakhstan. I've never met anybody from Kazakhstan. She goes, do you know where it's at? And I said, well, I've seen it on a map. I've never really focused on it. And I've heard it, bandied about on the videos and the news and stuff like that. But I don't really know anything about it. And she goes, well, initially she told me she was from Central Asia. Well, Asia fascinates me anyway. But I wasn't thinking Kazakhstan. And Russia, parts of Russia are considered Asiatic also. So anyway, I started talking to her about this, and I asked her, so are you directly from Kazakhstan? Like, did you move there from here? She said, yes, I did. So I came home and watched some YouTube videos on Kazakhstan, and went on to Wikipedia, Googled it and everything. And I'm really like interested in it. Do you ever do that? Do the smallest things generate significant interest in something for you, that you find yourself going down a rabbit trail? That happens to me all the time, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I like being curious. It keeps life interesting. But here's what I found out about Kazakhstan. It is the 9th largest country in the world by landmass. It is larger than all of Western Europe. It's bordered by Russia on the north, which she looks like she could be Russian. She told me there's a lot of Russian immigrants there. And according to a video I watched last night, that is true. There are a lot of Russian immigrants that go there, that migrate there. So it's bordered by Russia to the north, China to the east, and whatnot. I asked her, I said, well, how close is it to Turkey? And she says about 5.5 hours by plane. Looking it up, I found out that it is one of the least populated countries in the world. It's only got 20 million people. That is only 16 people per square mile. And when I was watching videos on it, Kazakhstan is absolutely beautiful. They have such an array of different landscapes and colors and whatnot. It's just incredible. You ought to look it up. You ought to look up Kazakhstan, because it's incredible. But I tell you what, it's very odd. It's very strange. Like, it's the big cities, the architecture is different than any other place. They say the people are very, very friendly, very hospitable, amiable. I thought it was interesting. I love having encounters like that make me curious about the world that I live in, and make me want to research more. Because then, it's a positive thing. It's important to have your mind occupied with positive things rather than negative. That's why I don't watch the news anymore. I just don't watch the news. I mean, I hear it. You can't help but be confronted with it. But I just don't. I don't directly pursue it, because I don't have time for it. I have limited time here on Earth, so I just try not to involve myself with it. I figure I'd give you guys a quote of the day and a word of the day. I haven't done that in a while. And so I open up my Merriam-Webster's Dictionary and Thesaurus, and I have one of my quote books. I have many quote books, but I have another quote book here. This one's all humorous quotes. So I'm going to give you a quote and a word from that. And the way I picked out which page I was going to pick from, I used a random number generator app. And I put in pages 1 through however many pages there are in the book and let it pick out which page I was going to pick these from. So the first one here was from page 71. This is a word I've never heard before, and the word is autochthonous. Autochthonous. It's an adjective. It means indigenous, native. So I guess this woman I met the other night was autochthonous to Kazakhstan. I mean, that's a very amateur attempt at trying to incorporate the word into a sentence. Here's a quote that I can leave you with the rest of the day. And this comes to us from on page 416. It's under the heading of prayer. And I don't know if you pray or not. I don't know if you're an atheist, if you're a Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, I don't know. But I think you'll like this quote anyway. This is by Marge Simpson. She says, "Dear God, this is Marge Simpson. If you stop this hurricane and save our family, we will be forever grateful and recommend you to all our friends." Isn't that how we treat God? Oh, he is a cosmic bellboy for most of us, I think. And, you know, I thought it was funny because we're actually in hurricane season down here right now. So it kind of struck me that we'll be forever grateful and recommend you to all our friends. Would you recommend God to your friends? Some of you might say no, but I say yes. Without him, we have nothing, but I'm not going to get preachy. I just wanted to spend some time with you this morning and share my thoughts with you. Of course, I don't know when you're going to see this. I know this is a rambling video, but I usually apologize for that kind of thing, but this is intentional. I've realized now that maybe rambling is exactly what I need to do. I hope that you've gotten something out of this. Intentional rambling can be good if there's something to it, right? But I do hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. And you know, I prefer making walk and talks, but during the week when I'm working, that's a little more difficult to do. In fact, I just came off of a 2-week vacation, time off. You know, I didn't go anywhere special. I didn't spend a lot of money. I didn't do any of that. I just focused on making more videos, and I've learned a lot, which I won't get into on this video. But yeah, so during the week when I'm working, that's a little more difficult. But sitting down out here in my backyard in the morning with the sun glaring right in my eye, I guess will have to suffice. All right, guys. I thank you for your time. I guess I'll catch you on the next one. In the meantime, be wise.